I know if I go on a date with your little ex-husband or your little ex-boyfriend and he is a nice guy, I know that that is because you fixed him for me. I know that that is your hard work. I owe you a tremendous debt. And if he tells me a little story, about your insane behavior when you guys were breaking up or at the end of your relationship, do you know what I'm going to think? I'm not going to think, oh wow, that's a crazy woman. I'm going to think, what did you do? What did you do? What did this man do to that poor woman that made her go to his little work and deflate all 4 of his tires?
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
Well, I find out he's a police officer. Let me just add that, police officer and in the military. So I'm like, here's my number. Feel free to text me on that. That way we can keep chatting. He says, well, I guess I'll just have to trust you. And I was like, well, hey, I'm giving you my number too. I'm trusting you, you know? And he says, well, I hope you're not some weirdo drug addict felon posing as a pretty girl. And my heart sank because I knew what was coming. And I was like, I mean, I'm an addict, but I've been clean for 3 years. And yes, I am a felon.
Ironic.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. Give me the sip rep. I'm glad to have you here with me and Ampu, guys, as we embark ourselves into another episode of Women Dating After Divorce. And now, if you're new to the channel, if it's the first time you're watching this, the topic of these videos are women who have been married, who have promised in front of everyone that, you know, till death do its part, but then they want to find something better. And how do they end? Well, let's find out, gentlemen.
I've never been to the movies by myself ever in my whole life. I've just never gone all by myself. And tonight I did. I went to go see the Barbie movie and I dressed up, even though it was just me by myself. I've never gone to the movies by myself and I've never really dressed up for a movie before. But part of this post-divorce healing that I promised myself was that I was gonna start dating myself, and one of the things I wanted to do was go to the movies by myself. So I went, and you know what was great? I ate all the snacks. I didn't have to share with anybody. You know what else? I didn't care if the person next to me was having a good time, because I was having a good time. And I didn't look over at them being like, are you laughing right now? Are you having a good time? Are you comfortable? And it wasn't like, hey, is my face shiny? Like when the lights come up at the end of the movie, like, am I gonna look so shiny? Like, who cares? It's just me. And I just had a really good time. So if you haven't done that before, you should go to the movies by yourself. And also you should go see the Barbie movie because it's great. And like, go women.
Down with the patriarchy. That's the message.
And also eat all the snacks and do things that are just for you. That's all.
Man, that's sad. Well, on the one hand, you've lost the supposed man who you were going to, you know, share your life with. But on the other hand, you get to eat all the snacks. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think? On the one hand, we're going to be forever alone and not find a man. But on the other hand, I don't know, people will not see a shiny face when the movie ends or something. I don't know, guys. Just trying to find the positives of getting a divorce.
I am a lot of things, but one thing I will never ever be is enough of a clown to do something aggressive or say something bad about a man I'm dating's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. Because I know if I go on a date with your little ex-husband or your little ex-boyfriend and he is a nice guy, I know that that is because you fixed him for me. I know that that is your hard work. I owe you a tremendous debt. And if he tells me a little story about your insane behavior when you guys were breaking up or at the end of your relationship, do you know what I'm going to think? I'm not going to think, oh wow, that's a crazy woman. I'm going to think, what did you do? What did you do? What did this?
Well, that's convenient, isn't it? Like, all men are crap, we know that. But even the good men, they are good because of the work that their girlfriend has done. Bravo, beautiful. I've never seen more cope in my life. And of course, all the guys who say that their girlfriends are crazy, you can't trust none of them. Even if a girl is absolutely clinically insane, it's still somehow a man's fault. All right.
This man do to that poor woman that made her go to his little work and deflate all 4 of his tires? What did you do? How did you put her in a position where she felt like that was her only option?
Yeah, like this logic, man, I just can't. So if a woman slashes your 4 tires, what did you do to piss her off so much? All right? If I don't know, so can we apply that logic? If I go on the streets and I use 40 women, are they going to take me to jail, or can I say something along the lines of, well, imagine what those women had to do in order to get me that mad, you know? If I go to this woman's work and I slash her 4 tires and I throw a bag of crap on her face, will I get in trouble, or is she to blame because she made me do that because I'm angry? I don't know, guys, just stone logic right here, just beautiful logic.
I'm not going to think she's crazy. I'm going to think you're a terrorist. I will never, ever say anything bad or mess with a man's ex. And if he's complaining someday, if he's saying something about like some sort of a divorce settlement or an alimony or a child support payment, do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, give that woman that money. That woman, she earned every penny. Pay her more. Pay her, give her double. Give her double what she's asking for, and then you go make more money. Because I know that woman fixed this man for me. That's the truth. That is what's on my heart today.
So even if you treat this woman like a queen, you're still somehow a walking ATM, you know, you just amount to nothing. All the bad things about you are because of your masculine energy, and all the good things about you are because of the feminine energy that has taught you those things. I don't know, guys, and this woman is not joking, alright? Sometimes we see satire videos. This is not one of them. Like, this woman is for real. I don't know, guys, like, I can't imagine why this woman is divorced, you know? And something that I can't imagine even more is who in the hell decided to marry this woman, alright? Who did that? Who is crazy enough to marry this woman? I don't know, maybe she unalived him, you know? And then she went to the judge and told him, like, imagine what he had to do for me to want to unalive him. Just absolute psycho. This woman should be locked up in a jail.
I love you. Bye.
Hey, y'all. So
I love how she says the most crazy bullcrap you've ever heard, and then she's like, I love you, bye. Damn. Just insane person.
So I met a guy on a dating website, and we matched and had been chatting back and forth. I was at work. I couldn't answer all of his messages immediately because all the messages were coming to the dating site. So I'm like, hey, since I'm at work, it would be much easier for me if you just text me on my phone. That way I get the alerts, you know? Well, I find out he's a police officer. Let me just add that, police officer and in the military. So I'm like, here's my number. Feel free to text me on that. That way we can keep chatting. He says, well, I guess I'll just have to trust you. And I was like, well, hey, I'm giving you my number too. I'm trusting you, you know? And he says, well, I hope you're not some weirdo drug addict felon posing as a pretty girl. And my heart sank because I knew what was coming. And I was like, I mean, I'm an addict, but I've been clean for 3 years, and yes, I am a felon. So I took a few minutes and I sat down. I went to the bathroom on a bathroom break and sat down and
To pause it a little bit later, gentlemen. She is a felon. Well, you know, what subset of women do we have in today's video? What did she do, guys? What do you think she did? Probably she unalived her man as well, like the last woman from the last clip.
Asked him out all about my charge. And I said, you know, I completely understand if you, you know, if that's a problem for you or whatever. I didn't hear from him for 2 days. Then when I do get a message from him, he was like, hey, I just want to let you know I looked you up. And I looked at all your charges, and you were not very honest with me. You didn't tell me everything. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, 1, I don't even know you. 2, I was honest and upfront and told you about my charge. I don't have to tell you my whole freaking life history. And that is such a pain in the butt when you're a felon.
Okay, stop. Let's play a game, gentlemen. Let's play the detective game. Why do you think, you know, imagine this man, he's a police officer and he's been to the military. Give me a physical description. What do you think this man looks like? You know, what would you guess this man looks like? Of course, you cannot tell his hair color, his eye color, but what you can tell is that he is pretty attractive, because we have this woman right here, you know, absolutely losing it, crying on camera. We see tears, something we rarely see with women crying. You know, she's absolutely down. She's going through trauma right here, guys, because she really likes him. Meaning he is really attractive and probably jacked and leagues above her. Okay, that's the only reason, guys. She's not in love. Don't worry, she's not heartbroken. The thing is, guys, for many of these women, for many of modern women, love is not part of the equation. When they cry, they don't cry because they've been in love for 4 years and their partner cheated on them. No, they cry because that Chad who they've been talking to for 2 days didn't give them enough attention. Like, that's how it is, guys. We have a close to 40-year-old woman here crying on camera with a silly SpongeBob voice filter because the Chad police officer didn't pay her enough attention and she lost her chance because she is a felon. Guys, man, this is so funny. Like, absolutely no sympathy for this woman right here crying, because her tears, not crocodile tears, she's genuinely upset, right? But the motives of her being upset are ridiculous.
You know, like, of all people, of course I'm gonna pull the freaking police officer, but I was as honest as I knew how to be, you know? I told him what my initial charge was, but he's saying, you know, my violation or whatever, and he's like, you didn't tell me everything. Well, no, I didn't tell you anything because I've never even freaking met you. Why do I have to tell you everything? It's just one of the problems that you run into when you're a felon, because everybody's going to judge you based on all the information that they get on the freaking internet, and I don't want the internet to tell my story. I want to tell my story because I will be honest, and I felt like I kind of bought a little bit of respect when I told him straight up, and I didn't try to hide anything. But it's so frustrating. I'm tired of Google telling my story. I would tell him myself, but it's just part of being a felon.
It's not really a felon what's concerning right here. It's that you're 40 and you're single. You know what I mean, guys? Like, you you can be a felon, you can hide that, you know, but what you can't hide is your dating history, your body count, because even if you don't mention them, they reflect upon your personality. They reflect upon the choices you make and upon the men you select. So with that out of the way, guys, let's check our last video for today, which is this woman right here, guys. I just wanted to mention and have a little chat with you. So leave me your thoughts after this, and now let's check it.
Like, my ex-husband had cheated on me. In no way ever have I ever told you that it was 100% his fault.
Right, you never said that.
Never said that. I
never said
take
that.
full accountability that I did not nurture. So in my mind, women, listen to this. I'm not condoning cheating whatsoever, but listen to
Neither
this
am I.
advice. I'm not
Neither am I.
condoning it. When you that stuff happens to you, immediately you're like, oh, he cheated on me, he's a dog. I didn't do that. I immediately went into self-reflection mode and said, what did I do as a spouse that made my spouse feel like he could not get what he needed from me? And why didn't he feel comfortable enough to come talk to me about it? And I have actually apologized to my ex-husband for this. And I told him, I'm so sorry that I didn't give you a place to be able to express your emotions. I always asked him to tell me how he felt. I always begged him to tell me what he wanted. But I didn't create a safe space for my husband, ex-husband, to feel comfortable enough to tell me how he was feeling. Because I created this, let's just call it a hostile environment, to where he felt like if he told me I'm not getting pleased here, or I'm having temptations, that I would immediately pull the rug from underneath him. So I reflected on that and took full responsibility for my part and said, yeah, the marriage didn't end just because he cheated. The marriage ended because I wasn't nurturing my marriage also. So in no way would I ever pass the blame on him at all.
Okay, now I gotta say, I absolutely 100% disagree with this woman and with anyone who has this opinion. Why? Because there are certain limits you can't trespass. Okay, cheating, there is no excuse for it. And, you know, I'm not gonna agree with this woman. In fact, women do this a lot when they tell, like, I cheated because he gave me the attention you never did. Guys, there is no excuse that is big enough to actually cheat. If someone cheats, he should be immediately out of your life. Now, I understand there are people who don't get a divorce even if the other person cheated because they have kids and there are more things at stake, so that is a personal decision. You know, I can't blame people who decide to, you know, have that decision impacted on their kids' lives because still your partner cheated, you know, and it's your marriage. And I can't blame people who stay either. But, you know, there's no thing like, oh, I take responsibility for what for that he cheated. Absolutely not, guys. Whether you're a man or a woman, this is a behavior that should be not excused in any way, shape, or form. Yes, there are things that are obviously impacted. Okay, if you pay less attention to your wife, she is more likely to cheat. But if she is a woman who respects herself, her marriage, and you, she will never cheat, never, under any circumstances. Okay, if both people don't get along at all, just separate from each other, or, you know, but don't cheat. It's absolute scum behavior, guys, and it's inexcusable. Let me give you the analogy of anger. Okay, if I have an anger problem and my girlfriend is making me upset, okay, there are certain limits. I can get upset, I can hit something, I can even break something. Okay, that's not a problem. It's, you know, it's something bad, but it's still within the limits of reason to where she can forgive me later. You know what I mean? You can have an anger problem and you can do things that later on can be excused for some reason, like she really made you angry, you know. But to go to that point where you actually start beating the crap out of your partner, it's like, what the hell, man? And it's the same with cheating, okay? When a relationship is not going well, of course, both persons, both people in that relationship are going to feel more tempted to cheat, or are going to feel misunderstood. They're going to feel more understood by some other person. That's absolutely reasonable, okay? And, you know, temptation is something that can be forgiven. But taking the decision to cheat, absolutely inexcusable and never should be at all forgiven. So what do you think about that, guys? Would you forgive cheating? But we'll close the video right here, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.